Hey everyone, I'm Kevin and welcome to my channel. Now, I have reached a 5,000 subscriber milestone really recently, and this is a video where I appreciate you guys, and what I'm going to do for this video, it's going to be super special. I'm going to do the one thing that everyone's been asking me to do ever since the first video I ever made. Ever since the first video, the SAT video that I did on this very background, I have been asked by many people, where did you get into for college and where are you going for college right now, because I just finished my first year of college. So I'm going to be dropping all this information in this video, and one more special thing I'm going to do for this video is I will be looking at the comments. I want everyone right now to comment down below, what video do you think I should make next, and this week I'm going to pick one comment and make that video, and I'm going to have it done within the first week of May. So if you put a comment down right now, there's a chance that I'm going to make the video you want me to make within the next 2 weeks. So do that and let's get started. Now, before we get into discussing what universities I got into, I want to tell you guys that I live in Toronto, Canada, which means that the majority of universities that I apply to are Canadian schools. They are mostly in Ontario, the province that I live in, which is like a state in the US. But I did apply to two universities in the US, and I will tell you guys all about that very soon. So I took the SATs and I did the exact same things you guys would do. So I'll tell you about every single university I got into in chronological order from the first acceptance that I got. Okay, so first let's get into my stats that I had going into the university admissions game. So obviously I finished my first year, so this is all I'm talking about last year. When I was applying, I had a 4.0 GPA, which meant a 97 out of 100 average in terms of percentages. And in Ontario, at least my school, we didn't have GPAs, so my school just sent every percentage mark that I got for every class to my university. And in Canada, like, taking AP credits isn't that important in terms of admissions. I took 4 AP courses in my final year, and I took 5 in my junior year. And the thing about Canada is that our AP courses, due to our curriculum, don't necessarily match up with the ones that you guys might be taking in the US. For example, we don't have AP Calculus AB and AP Calculus BC. We don't have those courses at all. In fact, we do take those exams if you want to, but our courses are called AP Calculus and Vectors, and then it's like a 2-part thing, and then we have AP Advanced Functions. So we have completely different AP course names. However, the same content in the end is taught over the course of the courses, and we do take the same exams as you, and they're the same exams: Calculus AB, Calculus BC, and so on. Now, in terms of the SAT, in terms of my US admissions, I had a 1580 on the SAT 1, so I had a 780 on my reading and writing, and an 800 on my math. And the essay portion, I got a 22 or 21 out of 24, 22 I believe, which means that I had 8 in 2 sections and a 6 in the last section, which I think was analysis. So I'm kind of shaky on that, but I did make every single for every single component of the SAT, I have videos on my channel on how I got that score, so be sure to check that out. Now, in terms of extracurriculars, it's completely different in Canada. In Canada, it's almost not important at all unless you're applying to some very select elite programs in Canada. So in Canada, it's different in terms that you don't apply to the university, you apply to programs within a university. And a university might be prestigious or not that prestigious. However, a program within that university makes the program is prestigious, not the university itself. And I'll get more into that very soon. But there's some programs, there are very limited amount of programs that you apply to in Canada that will actually look at your extracurriculars. But either way, let's talk about what extracurriculars I had. So the 2 extracurriculars that I mainly focused on were track and field, and I was a team captain and the MVP for my track team. I was competing at the provincial level, which is like the state level in the US. And I was focused on computers and programming a lot. So I made several apps on the App Store. I'll put pictures of them here, links down below. I also had an internship at some tech companies in downtown Toronto where I live. So that was like 2 areas where I spiked a lot, and it really showed development in those areas. So those were my main extracurriculars, other than some volunteering that I did here and there at food banks and different political organizations. Those 2 activities were my main activities during my high school career. Okay, so in the fall, the first university that I got into was the University of Toronto, and I got into the Life Sciences program, which is not necessarily too competitive to get into. However, in the University of Toronto, when you apply, you also apply to a college, and different colleges have different levels of prestige, and one of the more prestigious ones is the Trinity College, which I applied to, and we got into that. It doesn't really make a difference on your program, it's just really where you live, if you live on residence, and the activities and the scholarship opportunities you have access to. So I got into Trinity College at University of Toronto for the Life Sciences program. That was the first acceptance that I got. The second acceptance was McGill. McGill University is in Quebec, and it's an amazing university, and I actually for the longest time thought that I would be going to McGill because I got in for a dual degree program, bio and CS dual degree, which is amazing. And I thought, okay, this is the dream program. I've been to Montreal, it's a fun city, and I'm gonna be, living it up in Montreal for 4 years while I get this dual degree, and I can go either into medicine or computer science, or I can, have a lot of career options. So that is the second place I got into, and I was super amped to get into there. And then within a really short period of time, like a couple of weeks, I got into a lot of different programs in Canada. So one was at York University for biomedical sciences. That's a university in Toronto. I got into Queen's University for some Bachelor of Health Sciences program. I'm not sure exactly which program it was. It was some health-related program, but these weren't insanely prestigious things or anything like extremely hard to get into. I got into Waterloo University for computer science. So the University of Waterloo is the best university for engineering, especially computer science and software engineering in Canada. So that was a big bonus, and I was really debating between McGill and going to the University of Waterloo for computer science. So those were actually some really big options that I had, because on one hand, if I go to McGill, I'm getting a dual degree in bio and CS because those are kind of my two fields of interest. However, if I went to the University of Waterloo, they have an amazing co-op program where they have kids sent to San Francisco and going to Apple, going to Microsoft, working for them every single year. So that would be amazing if I could go there as well. However, earlier in the year, I applied to 2 US schools, and one of them was a safety because it was a really nice school and my parents wanted to actually move to that place. However, the other one was my dream school, and still is my dream school, and I'll reveal them right now. So the safety was the University of Miami, and I did get in, and I got in with a presidential scholarship to the University of Miami for I think the health sciences program, if that is a program, something really similar to that. And the other one was Stanford University, which I actually did not get into, and not getting into there, the day you open your letter was a pretty sad day for me, but you move on to better things. So those were the 2 US schools that I applied to, and that's how they went. Now the final university that I got into, the university program that I got into in Canada, was the Bachelor of Health Science program at McMaster University, which is the most competitive pre-med program in Canada. So this marked the finale of all the different programs that I got into in Canada. So what was special about that program is that most of the kids get into med school, and it's like a very high percentage relative to kids that get into med school everywhere, because obviously you're taking your pick at the most competitive and most smart in terms of their grade point averages kids in all of Ontario. So I got into that program, and that marked all the universities that I got into. So now that I had all my university acceptances, right, I had the US option of going to the University of Miami, and I had a scholarship, and I had all these different Canadian options within my reach. What did I pick in the end? And what I picked was actually a shock to a lot of people, and I'll explain it right now. So what did I ultimately choose to go into? I chose the Bachelor of Health Sciences program at McMaster University, which is the best, in my opinion, the best pre-med program you can get into in Canada, because of the absolute amazing level of expertise that the faculty have. I mean, I have, my professor for biology is probably the smartest guy I've ever met in my life. And I thought personally, and I still believe that, as a person who learned computer programming and everything I do in computer science, which is like my main hobby outside of school, I learned everything by myself without any courses. So I figured that, hey, I can continue this the same way that I've been doing for literally the past 6 years of my life. I can continue the computer science side because I'm interested enough in it. But if I went to, say, computer science at Waterloo, I knew I would never get myself to sit down and learn the biology and the medical aspects that I need to know to kind of be able to combine my two competing interests and kind of merge them into one thing that I can do with my career. So I thought that this is the only way that I'm going to go and learn about medicine and from the best people imaginable. So I'm going to go to the best pre-med program that I've got into, and I will go and continue this computer science aspect of myself by myself. And that is why I chose to go to the Bachelor of Health Science program at McMaster University. And the other benefit was that McMaster University, compared to the other options, was really close to my house. I mean, obviously you have York University and University of Toronto, which are much closer, but Hamilton, Ontario, where McMaster is only like an hour drive away. So I could see my family, you know, I wasn't on the other end of the continent. And even with the scholarship at University of Miami, which was a big like contender in terms of where I wanted to go to for college, even with the scholarship, the housing and the everything put together, the meal plans would have turned out to cost much more than what any Canadian school would have cost me. So in terms of cost management, I had to consider what I was willing to pay, and Canadian schools were obviously a better choice, both academically and in terms of costs. Okay, so now you guys know where I got into for college. I have been keeping this kind of like a secret from my YouTube channel for the past year, and now you guys know where I've been for the past year. So you guys know my stats, where I got into, my extracurriculars, and you guys know where I have been for the past year. So leave a like on this video, make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers, and remember, leave a comment on what video you want me to make next, and I'm gonna pick one this week to make. I will. Alright, so take care guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. Later.